Hi, my name is Ebon Kim, and I'm trying something new, and it's called the Weekly Independent Media News Roundup. And it's important because unlike major news networks and news aggregators like Google News or Yahoo News, there's nothing like that for the independent media news world. So it's going to have to start out like this, and I may not be able to do this every week, so I'm hoping that someone out there can actually pick up with this and roll with it. First up, we've got Luke of We Are Change. He offers commentary and he does a lot of on-the-ground reporting. So go ahead and check out his stuff, as he's been doing some reporting of the French protests. The biggest news in the independent media news world is, of course, the DNC lawsuit. You're going to see a lot of coverage of this on the independent media world, but not on mainstream media. There's a reason why. Especially with TYT offering their commentary as being something that's more supportive of the DNC corruption and not towards this lawsuit and Bernie voters. And this backlash has been seen with Goodman finally actually doing a piece of TYT doing something that's not really progressive in progressive circles. And with that backlash came Chariton's big tirade and smear against Goodman, which also included Tim Black, which was later retracted, and Niko House. And you can see a lot of the little drama between him and Niko House on Jordan Chariton's personal Facebook page, and of course Niko House's Facebook page. But the initial video was actually done on TYT Politics' Facebook page. So there was been a lot of thoughts that maybe Cenk Uygur and the whole TYT company and corporation was involved with this smear campaign, because this is actually the second time someone from TYT has smeared Goodman and Tim Black. Now, there was some negative backlash with this, and there's been a lot of unsubscribes recently for TYT Politics, and you can see that since he's made that video, that there have been more people unsubscribing than there have been subscribing. You can actually see a lot more of this coverage in one of my videos that kind of goes and follows Goodman, Tim Black, where they got a lot more subscribers, while TYT and the Young Turks, the TYT Politics channel, they've gotten less. And this is actually a good thing, because there was a lot of independent media that I never knew about that came in defense of Goodman, Tim Black, and Niko House. I was one of them. Hard Bastard was another one of them. Jamal Thomas, Holly Seeliger, and Michael Solomon ended up joining. Same with Bob TV and the Sick Bastard, I believe that was his name. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I'm doing this on the fly, but I'll get to it in a bit. So, Hard Bastard, when he did his piece of defending Goodman, Tim Black, and Niko House, it was actually banned for bullying and harassment. We don't know who it was. Most likely, it might have been someone from TYT or a fan of TYT that submitted that report. We don't know. There's no evidence. It's just something that we're guessing. So, but you can actually see all of Hard Bastard's material on his website, and it's called hardnews.network. It's not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of cursing. It's definitely what you see on right when you get there on his page. And so there was actually someone that made a Twitter post, and it was removed, but Cenk Uygur actually replied saying it was mental. They don't have any power or inclination to take down anyone else's videos. So he doesn't know what was in the video, and he doesn't care. One of the other people who came to the defense of Goodman, Tim Black, and Niko House was Jamal Thomas, and I'm grateful for finding him, because he offers a lot of really in-depth philosophical questions and answers and proposed and solutions towards a lot of things. His videos are worth a look. Go ahead and subscribe and watch his videos. And another person that also defended H.A. Goodman, Tim Black, and Niko House was Holly Seeliger, and she does a lot of good reporting. She covers a lot of material that's seen in the independent media world, as well as some on the mainstream and RT. Michael Salamone. Now, not a lot of people actually look at Facebook in the YouTube world, and YouTube world and Facebook may not look at a lot of things in the podcast world. But Michael Salamone came in defense of Tim Black and H.A. Goodman and Niko House, and you can actually hear a lot of his podcasts, which are really, really good, on his website. Now, Bullshit Man, yeah, that was the person I was trying to talk about. He also came in defense with a big video. It's a very long video, about over an hour long, but you can go ahead and watch his stuff. He does a lot of other good pieces out there. And Bob TV. He's been around for a while, but I never knew about him. And he also stuck up for Tim Black, H.A. Goodman, Niko House. And I've been watching a lot of his videos recently after I found him, and he's got some really good material. So be sure to check him out. And I've been doing some things with regards to this whole situation that's kind of tied me up from the things that I wanted to pursue, and I'll get to that as soon as I can. One of the things that I did do was just kind of gather Hard Bastards censored material and segment it into 5 different episodes and upload them, see if they get flagged for removal. As of 2 days, it hasn't happened, so we don't know what's gonna happen, so we can't see if we can get more details on who might have done the censorship. But there's also, I did a little short parody, and that parody kind of, I made me and Hard Bastard, we coordinated, and Hard Bastard went ahead and flagged it because I wanted him to, and see if we get the same result. Anyways, Tim of Tim Black TV does a lot of great stuff as usual, and he's always interviewing new people, much like Hard Bastard, who defended everyone from Jordan Chariton's smear. And well, you gotta check out this interview with him. It was pretty awesome. Now, Cenk Uygur had some huge news. In that huge news, that big announcement was that, and the breaking news was that Representative Ro Khanna is joining Justice Democrats. Now, with that comes a whole bunch of stuff, and of course Jordan Chariton is on a personal crusade, and he's not one to mess around with. He's always on Hillary Clinton's case, and right now I'm pretty sure Hillary Clinton is breathing a sigh of relief that some of H.A. Goodman's work is now geared towards TYT, and there's just a lot of stuff on TYT that H.A. Goodman is finding because he's actually pursuing it in a journalistic fashion. You can see a lot of his work on counterpropa.com, which is his website. He's got a lot of stuff submitted by Zach Holler, which is just first-rate material, and he's also had some material written by Caitlin Johnstone as well. And there's H.A. Goodman does some pieces. I've seen Anomaly write some pieces, so he gets a lot of material from a lot of different journalists. Now, back to the DNC lawsuit. Jared Beck and Elizabeth Beck have been on the rounds trying to get interviews to as many places as they could, but mainstream media isn't really picking them up to give them any coverage. The coverage that they have found was, of course, Tim of Tim Black TV and Sarah Reynolds of the Progressive Patriot, Mike Figueredo on Humanist Report, Jordan Chariton of TYT Politics, and Rob Laurie of WMNF's 88.5 FM Radioactivity. But you can find all of their stuff, all of their material on their Facebook page called DNC Fraud Lawsuit. And one of these pieces of interviews that especially done by Jordan Chariton of TYT Politics, Elizabeth Beck does something that just won me over. And here's a snippet.
Thanks, and thanks for having me on today, Jordan. I really appreciate it. I'm also a.
Hey.
Oh.
I think the real elephant in the room is not what your colleague Shore said, although it did, start off something. I think the real elephant in the room for me is, the Young Turks and a lot of its smaller brethren are part of a nascent media that is different, and people are looking for voices in journalism that is outside the mainstream. And one thing that bothers me is how the Young Turks, and I don't know if it's because you all want to take over that space as a monopoly or what, but kind of bothers me how, and I'm not talking necessarily about you, Jordan, it's basically your boss and the Young Turks in general. They've kind of started going after, H.A. Goodman, Tim Black, Niko House, and some other folks who, as Tim Black pointed out, these guys, they built up their readership on their own. So I think it's a little bit bullying. I think for me, that's the big elephant in the room.
Just amazing. I love how she's speaking up. I mean, this is basically a multi-million-dollar corporation, TYT, attacking independent journalists H.A. Goodman, Tim Black, who are not associated with anywhere near even hundreds of thousands of dollars of anything, especially a corporation backing them up. So they're fighting the fight towards people, not for corporations. And that's what their whole DNC lawsuit is about. So support them in any way you can. Check out their videos if you're behind on the news. And also Niko House, he's also been in the rounds getting interviews and also providing his own live streams. But it's only on Facebook from what I've seen. I've not seen him do anything much with YouTube. But he has had interviews with Victor Tiffany of Revolt Against Plutocracy and Nick Cionato of Real Progressives. George Webb, of course, is involved in this whole thing with the DNC lawsuit, and he's with ties to Hillary Clinton, and he's been pursuing this for at least 200 days, and you could see him on a daily basis, and he's actually been on Tim Black's TBTV. So kudos to Tim Black. He's always getting people who don't really have voices, or a lot of people watching their stuff and giving them voices. Sane Progressive, Debbie Lou Signan, she's kind of been doing a lot of everything, but mostly she doesn't really accept donations, although she does have people trying to get people to donate to causes such as Jeffrey Sterling and Holly Sterling having a Sterling Family Fund. So please, if you have anything you can do, give $1 to the GoFundMe page for the Sterling Family Fund. And I've donated some, and others have donated quite a bit, and they're trying to reach their goal. If you don't know what's going on, Debbie Lou Signan of Sane Progressives is covering it, and plus you can see a lot on their GoFundMe page. And if you didn't know, Chelsea Manning, he'll be heading home in about 6 days, so people are trying to raise money for him as well. So be sure, if you have anything to spare, to give whistleblowers, or the welcome that they deserve, because they wouldn't be whistleblowers if there wasn't corruption. Okay. Now, Mike Figueredo of TYT, he's an affiliate. He's been doing a lot of coverage. A lot of the coverage seems to be towards what mainstream media is covering and giving their commentating, or whatever you want to call it, on it. Same thing with Jimmy Dore. And while Jimmy Dore, as you can see in this top left, his channel is actually with the TYT intellectual property. So I don't think he's going to be saying anything soon about the whole Jordan Chariton and the TYT panel and the smears against H.A. Goodman, Tim Black, and Niko House anytime soon. And what I really want to do is get people to start watching other independent media out there, especially the ones who came up strong to defend people in the independent media world, that they were not afraid to fight against any type of establishment. And you know, some of them didn't voice their opinion, but that's fine. They have a lot of great material that's really independent. There are some that actually are independent that don't have a huge following, but they definitely should have a large following for doing what they did. And you can see in my Twitter page, it's pinned. You can see all the people that you can donate to, and some of them kind of came in late that I didn't really put in that first screenshot, but you can go and see them there. And that's it for this weekly roundup. I hope it wasn't too long, but I'll try to do a better job next time. And please, if anyone can do this instead of me, that'd be great, because there are other things that I need to pursue and I've been holding back for way too long. All right, thank you, and have a good night, have a good week.